Hi, my name is Miss Kate and welcome to Fine Motor Friday. If you haven't been here before, I'm one of the OTs who works with some of the preschool students, and I'm always talking to the preschool teachers. And what I am here to do is to show you some fine motor activities that the kids would be doing in class if we were in class together. I know you're getting a lot of homework and fun stuff to do already, so no pressure. This is all optional, and you know your child best. Just the normal things. Sometimes we use small objects that if we put in our mouth and try to swallow, it would not go very well. So we definitely want an adult to supervise and support us at all times when doing these activities. And I'm going to try and show you some things that, I have at home. And if you don't have at home, we can make if that's something you're interested in doing. Today's activities are going to focus on bilateral coordination and again, building that pincer grasp for holding the pencil. And away we go. All right. Okay, so bilateral coordination, what does that mean? That means using both hands together. And for the purposes of our activity today, we are going to be using some tools, right? We're going to use a ruler. And we are going to use, you can use a stencil like this, or if you don't have a stencil at home, that's okay. I didn't have a big one either, but I made one from the back of a notebook. Or if you have a bunch of Amazon boxes right now, that is also an option, if that is something that you are comfortable doing. All right, so my hands might be a little bit awkward today because I'm wearing a brace. So forgive me if it's a little bit difficult, but so today we're going to use a ruler as a part of our bilateral coordination task, and we are going to use our pen. So our helper hand is holding the ruler, and our working hand is going to trace the line with the other color. All right, and then we made our, I know we've talked about it before, our vertical line, one of the many pre-writing lines. And again, we are going to use a ruler, and we are going to trace the next one, the horizontal line. Again, using both hands together. All right, and then I think we will use that stencil that I showed you before. This is the one that I made with stuff that I had at home. If you weren't comfortable doing that, no worries. If you are, then this is just another option if you don't want to go to the store right now. And we're holding the stencil still with our helper hand, and our pen hand is doing the work. Okay, working together to trace. All right, now while we are talking about the pre-writing lines, I know we've done something like this before, but since I had my holiday themed erasers and I'm not with my little students right now, I definitely wanted to use those. So I have, remember we've talked about you can DIY your own version, but this is a pair of tweezers. Mine look like an alligator. They're super cute. All right, so I'm going to use them to pick up my little erasers and align them on my pre-writing lines. So why do we use tongs and tweezers? Because it builds our pencil grip. So before, and another way that we incorporate bilateral coordination in everyday activities, holding the paper steady, right? So that's a great thing to learn, is holding the paper still is important, especially as we start doing our handwriting, right? Or coloring. If you're coloring with one hand and you're not doing anything with this hand, that paper is going to move a lot, which could be tricky. Oops, I dropped him. There we go. Let's see, I'll squeeze him in there. Squish, squish, squish. And another elf. All right, there we are. So I used my tongs and some little erasers that I got from the Target dollar spot. And there we go. We worked on our pre-writing lines and our bilateral coordination. Okay, I know we've talked about bilateral coordination a little bit, and you're like, all right. So we use it when we're holding the paper still, and the kids end up doing their handwriting and we're coloring. But what are some other important ways that bilateral coordination factors into skills that we use at school? Well, hole punching, like the kids don't hole punch most, but they do use scissors a lot, especially as we get older. And I know not everybody is really comfortable with their preschooler using scissors yet, which is why we are going to use them today. You can see the craft that I started already. So I chose a tree, but you can do a snowflake or a cup of hot chocolate or really anything you want. If your creativity and imagination is the only limit on what you can turn this into. And I'm gonna finish decorating my tree, or we're gonna decorate together. So I'm going to, and again, that bilateral coordination aspect, using both hands together. One hand is holding the paper, managing the paper. Oh, I gotta turn this around. All right, and then one, I'm gonna slide that in and I'm gonna squeeze, right? Just like we would if we were using scissors. If you want, you could even have your child hole punch along the pre-writing lines if that's something that you wanna do, or a hole punch along a shape, as long as it's close to the side, right? And we can reach easily. All right, so I hole punched some yellow. I'm gonna let them fall out onto my paper and then I will show you. I've got a rogue one over there. Perfect. All right, 1 second. All right, so here we are. I have a bunch of my hole punch colors, and you can do lots of different colors just to make it more fun. You can do a rainbow. You can do all kinds of things. And I'm just going to add some glue. So again, using a tool that the children would be using, and I'm using that helper hand to hold this still, right? Okay, and then I got to make sure that guy's ready. And then I'm going to start adding in my tree decorations. I thought yellow would look nice, so that's the color I chose, but you can do your child's favorite color or whatever you like. These are just some activities that the kids might be doing with their teachers or paras when we're in class. Oh, I think I might need a little bit more glue down here. And there we go. Adding a couple more. All right, I think that's pretty decorated. And then I can save these for another activity on a different day. Okay, so I tried to keep it brief, but our activities today, we're working on bilateral coordination, which means using both hands together. So we used a ruler, a stencil, we used the hole punch to make our little craft here. We worked with the pre-writing lines. If you have any questions or requests for videos, just let your teacher know, and I'm happy to address those. But I hope everybody is doing well and staying safe. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.